In owl world, a worker owl pays the credit card bill every month and still feels like nothing is changing. The owl pays, the balance drops a little, the next month it still feels heavy, pay again, still there, and after a while, it starts feeling pointless, like the debt is not being defeated. And that feeling comes from a real system, not from laziness, but from how credit cards are built. A credit card is borrowed money, usually from the bank. It is not extra income, it is not free money, it is the bank, letting you spend first and repay later. So when the worker owl swipes the card for groceries, the merchant owl gets paid immediately. But the worker owl now owes the bank that unpaid amount is called a balance. A balance is simply the amount still owed on the card. So if the owl spends 100 coins and has not paid it back yet, the balance is 100 coins. Then the bank sends a statement. A statement is the monthly summary of what happened on the card. It shows what was spent, what is owed, and what payment is due. And on that statement, there is usually one number that looks small enough to breathe around. The minimum payment. This is the lowest amount. Owl must pay by the due date to keep account in good standing, typically 3 to 5%. Imagine this. If the owl owes 100 coins, the minimum payment is 10 coins. And this is where the emotional misunderstanding begins, because the worker owl sees that 10 coins and says, "Good, I'm dealing with it." You paid, you did something, but the system reads that payment differently. This is how the bank sees it. 100 coins owed, 10 coins paid, 90 coins still alive. Those 90 coins starts attracting interest. Interest is the price of borrowing money. It is the extra money charged because the bank's money is being used. Remember Owl's bank statement from before? Well, interest can be added onto the unpaid balance. Remember the owl paid 10 coins on their account, but the debt might not shrink by 10, because while the 10 coins payment pushes balance down, interest pushes back up. This is enough to make progress feel strangely weak, and then real life makes the whole thing worse, because credit cards are often not used once. They get used again and again and again. Fuel goes on the card. Food goes on the card. A small emergency goes on the card. Owl realizes, I'm paying old debt, while new spending lands on top of it. And that creates the feeling a lot of people know. I keep paying, but the balance on amount owed remains the same. That is where we introduce the next term, revolving credit. A credit card is a revolving credit system. In simple terms, revolving credit means the debt does not come with one fixed ending. It can roll from one month into the next, as long as the minimum payment is made, so unlike a simple loan with one straight finish line. A credit card balance can keep circling, month after month. Basically speaking, payment. Balance remains, interest appears, new spending arrives, and the credit card cycle turns again. And this system appears in different forms. Not every credit card looks the same. First, we have low-rate cards. In simple terms, that means the interest rate is lower. The owl might not earn rewards, but borrowing costs less. Basically, these cards are ideal for consumers who carry a balance from month to month, as they minimize interest charges. Next, we have rewards cards. Basically, these cards promise something back when you spend. Cashback, airline miles. So the owl might buy grain and earn points toward a future flight. Important to note, reward cards generally carry higher interest rates, so the rewards look exciting, but at a slightly higher interest rate. Next, we have balance transfer cards. These cards allow Owl to move existing debt from one card to another, sometimes with a temporary low interest promotion. Imagine this. The Owl might move a 100 coin debt to a new card offering a short period with almost no interest. But when that promotion ends, the revolving credit system continues. And finally, there are store cards. These are credit cards connected to a specific shop. Imagine this: a grain store. Offering its own card, the owl buys grain today and pays later, using that store's card. In the end, the underlying system is still revolving credit. Balance, minimum payment, interest, month after month. And that is why the thumbnail says debt loop, because when minimum payments are doing most of the work, the debt does not disappear quickly. It keeps moving, payment happens, but the balance survives. And if the balance stays alive long enough, interest keeps finding something to sit on. That is why paying your credit card can feel pointless, because what feels like progress to you may only be enough progress to keep revolving credit revolving. Please don't forget to like, comment, and share. Join the family by subscribing and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Thanks for watching, and Owl will see you on the next one.